You're welcome. You're welcome to another book series session. Happy Sunday. Okay, so we couldn't do this yesterday because what happened yesterday? I was not around, I was not available yesterday to come live, so that's why we're doing it today. I'm sorry, I hope there's no sound because there is a fan in front of me. Yeah. Okay, let me today's topic, um would you recommend family planning for a woman? Okay. Okay, darlings. All right, let's get straight into it. I do not want us to take too much time, right? So that wardrobe is opened. I don't know. But let's start anyway. Okay, so today we're talking about family planning in marriage. All right, let's start. And God blessed them, and God said unto them, be fruitful and multiply, and replenish the earth, and subdue it, and have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over every living thing that moveth upon the earth. That's Genesis 1, verse 28. But if any provide not for his family, and especially for those of his own house, he had denied the faith and is worse than infidel. That's 1 Timothy 5, verse 8. Okay. Family planning is a program directed at adequate spacing of pregnancies rather, so that the mother could recover enough from the stress of carrying and caring for her last baby before another one comes along. This is to preserve a good health, right? It also gives the opportunity to couples in matrimony to determine the number of children they want and when the children should come into the family. This goes a long way to help couples to be more responsible in childbearing and child rearing, thus ensuring a better quality of life for the individual, the family, the community, the nation, and the church. Okay? So our first subheading is the component of family planning. You're welcome. Thank you for joining my live session. Today we are talking about family planning in marriage. Please say something. Let me acknowledge your presence. Okay. Subheading, the component of family planning. The main theme of family planning is babies by choice and not by chance, right? Like you choose to want to have your baby or your babies rather, right? It's not by chance, like, oh, it just happened, oh, we were not prepared, oh, this baby was by mistake, right? And then some couples or some mothers who when they are angry, they tell their babies or their children, like, you were not planned, or I didn't plan to have you, you just happened by chance, right? So that you would not have that kind of conversation, and then you cause your child to be hurt, right? Or be mad at you or angry at you for saying that kind of word to her or to him, right? So that is why you need to plan your family. Okay? So the program is made up of the following components. That's number one, avoiding having more than the number of children you can effectively care for, right? Number two, spacing children by at least 2 or 3 years. Number 3, delaying childbearing until maturity, that is avoidance of childhood and adolescent pregnancies. I've seen online where couples or mothers have two under one babies, like maybe the first child is 1 year and the second child is like a month or 2 months. Is stressful, right? Like they go through a lot of stress. It's like you're taking care of, I mean, two babies that you maybe you plan for it, maybe you not plan for it. I don't know. I can't see, right? But it takes a toll on the mother and the parents, right? When you have children that you do not properly plan for. Okay? All right. Number 4, it says using effective contraceptive method. We're talking about components of family planning, and I will try to move very quickly because this topic is this chapter is a lot. So I'll try to move quickly, explain as I go. All right. So the benefits of family planning. Some people think that family planning is not how would I say it now? Holy Spirit help me. I'm looking for the right word. Some people do not still believe in planning their family. They still have this old mentality about planning their family, right? But in this book, they're telling us the benefits of family planning. Okay, so number 1 is economic benefits. Limitation of family size and control of childbearing is an important tool for economic development, right? Improved family health, which result from effective family planning, provides a sound basis for economic development. Family planning assists families to plan childbearing within the available resources of the home. So when you properly plan your family, you properly plan how you want to have your children, you tend to it doesn't take a toll on you, right? You plan accordingly, you plan well, right? You're not under pressure. Exactly, you're not under pressure that okay, this baby's here now, and then you're just struggling and you're not enjoying it, right? You're not enjoying the process, you're not enjoying the time that you are having that baby because it was not properly planned, right? So that's one of the major benefits of family planning, so that you can enjoy the process, so that you will not feel sad, you will not feel like, okay, it's because this baby is here, that's why we just have to have it and we don't want to abort. You can't abort, right? So you just do it for doing sake, okay? But no, you have to plan your family. Okay, so number B is physical benefits. Delaying childbearing to maturity helps prevent maternal morbidity and mortality at birth. Exactly. So physical benefit of family planning rather is that it prevents maternal morbidity, it prevents mothers from dying, it prevents babies from dying at birth, right? Because when you have babies consistently back to back to back to back, it affects your body, it affects your mental health, it affects you in general, right? So that's why they're telling us that the physical benefit of family planning is that it helps you, it prevents the death of the mother, it also prevents the death of the child. Okay, so number 2, adequate spacing of children goes a long way. Okay, adequate spacing of children goes a long way to assist mothers to recover fully, health-wise, before embarking on another successful condition of pregnancy. It goes a long way to reduce morbidity and mortality. We just mentioned that, right? Number 3, avoidance of childbearing at late reproductive age helps to reduce complicated pregnancies of old age, which are usually associated with high risks and mortality. There are high chances of giving birth to a malformed babies, e.g. Down syndrome. So if you do not plan your babies and you don't plan your babies and you're just having babies consistently or however you want, right, at a very high age, right, they're telling us in this book that there's a high chance of giving birth to a malformed babies, that is Down syndrome, babies with Down syndrome, right? So you have to be intentional. You have to be intentional about planning your family. Okay? Thank you so much for joining. Please like the live and say something so I can acknowledge you. Okay, so number C is spiritual benefits of family planning. Hi. Okay, so back to what we were saying. Um, Spiritual benefits. I got distracted by that. So prevention of pregnancy is less traumatic and more acceptable than either an abortion or a full-term pregnancy and delivery. Of course, some people's faith do not they don't want to abort, right? So it's better for you to plan and prepare for the pregnancy than a traumatic pregnancy, or you having to decide whether you want to abort or not, and then it messes with your head, and then your you do not your spirituality doesn't accept it, right? So you are forced to wanting to have the baby out of compulsion, like, okay, it has happened and there's nothing I can do about it, let's just have this baby, right? So no, that's why they're saying that you should properly plan your family. All right. Okay, so next subheading is educational benefits of family planning. Number one, well-spaced children give parents the opportunity to provide adequately. Again, well-spaced children give parents the opportunity to provide adequately planned education for the children in the home. Exactly. So you properly plan for each child, right? You know what they need per time. Okay, parents are more likely to have time for the monitoring and supervision of each child's education, moral and academic. Exactly. It is less costly since educational materials could be passed from one child to another. Yes. For instance, I used my sister's book. I used my sister's book. My brother used my book, right? You understand? Some people they use their siblings' clothes, okay, because there's space between them. You properly plan it, and you okay, you can use your sister's stuff or you can use your brother's stuff or what have you, right? Unlike when it is not properly planned and then you are forced to, having to provide, and there's a strain and you don't have so much, right? Okay, so let's move on. Social benefits. Pregnancies and child rearing disrupt individuals' social life. You would agree with me, of course. When you're pregnant, every time, year in, year out, you probably do not have any social life. You probably will not be able to go out. You'd probably just be there and just, carrying the baby, having to nurture them. Some of my friends that got pregnant, and gave birth. I can't remember the last time we hung out together, right? It's always put a strain on their social life, and it's understandable, right? Because they need to cater to their children, they need to cater to their family, right? So imagine now having to do that every year, you know. I don't know. Okay, so next subheading is methods of family planning. Number one is folk. They said folk method. That's coitus interruptus. The man withdraws the penis out of the vagina before ejaculation. That's a form of family planning. Some men, they be like, oh, their withdrawal method is strong. Some men will say their withdrawal method is very strong. That don't try me, I did withdraw. But they're telling us that it has a high failure rate, right? Since there is no way of guaranteeing that no semen would have dropped inside the vagina, even in hospital, doctors will be like, you can't see there are some sperm that are very fast and quick. You think that you are withdrawing, but sperm has already entered, and then the woman is likely to get pregnant, right? So it said it has a high failure rate. Okay, so B, they said it is emotionally traumatic since it has to withdraw during the peak of sexual pleasure. That's when it is about to orgasm, right? It's hard to withdraw at that point because it's at that point that is enjoying it. You get my point? So most times you be like, well, let's enjoy it, whatever happens happens, and then the woman will have to start worrying and carrying the headache that, oh, am I pregnant this week, oh, am I not pregnant this week, or this month rather, oh, I've missed my period, is my period coming or not? You get, it stresses you. Your mental health is disturbed. Okay, so number 2 is postcoital douche. That is, the woman quickly washes her vagina to remove sperm deposited after intercourse, right? They said the failure rate is very high. Some of the sperm are so fast as to escape before the douching can be done. You know, some you say that, oh, when I need to get my thoughts together. That when it comes or when the organisms inside you, you run and go and wash it away. So the failure rate is very high, because before you get to the restroom to wash it away, sperm might have gone inside and fertilize your eggs, and then you get pregnant. Okay, so it is never recommended to be used as a form of family planning, right? They're telling us here that the man withdrawing and the woman running to go and wash it off uh, is not recommended, right? Because you probably get pregnant one way or the other. Okay, so another one is prolongation of lactation. The principle here is that the hormone prolactin responsible for lactation usually inhibits the ovary from releasing egg, right? So prolonged lactation, that the woman prolongs breastfeeding from a previous baby, so that she does not, as she's breastfeeding, she will not be able to, what's the word now, ovulate, right? Is that it? Yes, she will not be able to ovulate, so she can continue to have sex, and then she's free since she's lactating. Okay, they said for some women that would not menstruate as long as they are breastfeeding, it is an effective form of family planning. They said this one is effective for women who do not ovulate while breastfeeding. It works. It can work for you. They said it works very well. But for women that menstruate while breastfeeding, our bodies are different. My body is different from another woman's body. What is working for another woman might probably not work for me. You get, so that's why they are stating the two different ways that this can work. Okay, that for women that menstruate while breastfeeding, it is not an effective form of family planning. Hence, it is common to find some women getting pregnant while breastfeeding. So women might be breastfeeding and they're already pregnant. Okay, so another method of family planning is the traditional method. It said vagina pessary. I googled this while I was reading this book. It's like something that you insert inside the vagina to prevent you from getting pregnant. So number 2, they said local herbs for drinking. Some people take local herbs, agbo, to prevent them from getting pregnant, right? Some local rings, some local incision on the pubis, use of local genes, shrubs, bitter lemon on Twitter. I've seen some messages on Twitter, or some tweets on Twitter rather, where they say if you mix this and mix that you not get pregnant. Okay, so some people say coffee. They said coffee, Gouda beer, so many things. In this video, they said these are time wasters because they do not prevent pregnancy, all right? And said Christians should not be found using these types of family planning whose origin are idolatry. Okay, so moving on, they said to the next subheading. We've talked about what we are still on method of family planning. We've talked about the folk method, we've talked about the traditional method, and now we are going to the natural method. Okay, so natural method number 1, they said redeem method. Avoid sexual intercourse during ovulation period using the menstrual cycle to calculate the safe and unsafe period. So some people are very good at this. They calculate when they're ovulating, their free period, and they calculate when they're free and when they're ovulating. So they know that they need to stay clear when they're ovulating. You can't touch me, don't come near me, all right? But they said it often fails because of the emotional changes that do affect a woman's cycle. You would agree with me that sometimes you're supposed to see your period today and it's probably not come. It comes maybe in 3 days or in 2 days, and perhaps you have calculated that okay, I'm free now or I'm not free now, and then you go have sex and then boom, you're pregnant. Okay. B, they said it needs sexual discipline and meticulous monitoring of the woman's menstrual cycle. I mean, you need to understand it. You need to know that, okay, my cycle is 28 days. 14 days before, 14 days after, or 5 days, all the calculation that you need to do, you have to be good at them. You need to know them, or else you're gonna fall pregnant. All right, so for natural method number 2, total abstinence. This is not a recommended form of family planning. It is against the principle of sexual relationship in matrimony as recorded in 1 Corinthians 7:1-5. Scripture says that you should, meet with your wife. I'm paraphrasing this scripture, but 1 Corinthians 7:1-5 says that you should not leave your wife. If you leave your wife, maybe because you want to fast, and then you tell your wife that, or your husband rather, your wife or your husband, that I want to fast for so and so day. When I'm done, you need to be back so that you are not tempted to go and do what you're not supposed to do outside. Okay. Next is they say it usually generates tension in matrimony and also creates room for suspicion and marital unfaithfulness. Of course, if you are not having sex for so long, waiting the happen, waiting the shell. Okay, so next is hormonal methods. So number 1 is oral contraceptive pill. I think this one is very common, right? It is hormonal preparation directed towards the ovary. It prevents the ovary from ovulating while the woman menstruates every month. Okay, it is made in packs of 21 tablets or 28 tablets comprising 21 white tablets and 7 brown tablets. This is a particular type of contraceptive oral pill, right? Okay, they said it should be taken every day until the woman is ready to get pregnant. For effectiveness, it should be taken at the same time of the day, right? I know someone who takes pill, right, for contraceptive every day. She takes this thing, and in this they're even saying that if you take the pill 9 a.m. today, you must take the pill 9 a.m. every day. Every day. If you miss it, you're likely to get pregnant. So if you're someone who does not like drugs, I think this cannot work for you. This cannot work for you, right? But if you're someone who, you don't mind, you like taking drugs, that's fine. You can do the oral contraceptive pill. Okay, they said it is about 99% successful. Okay, and then some side effects include nausea, vomiting, weight gain, breast tenderness, post-pill amenorrhea, that's irregular menses. Your menses are not coming regularly, right? You can gain weight, your breasts are sore. There are lots of side effects. Okay, so they said it is recommended for women that still want to have more children. If you still want to have more children, you can take this oral contraceptive pill as a way to plan your family. Okay, so they said male contraceptive pill, they said it has been developed. They are not marketable yet because of its severe side effects. So they're saying that there are pills for men too, but there are severe side effects, and then they are not yet marketable. Okay, so number 2, they said the injectables. These are hormonal preparations in every dose. These are hormonal preparations in every dose put into injectable forms like pills. They inhibit the ovary, thus generating ovulatory failure. It is taken every 2 or 3 months depending on the type. Right, these are injectables, Okay, they said its use is discouraged in women who still want to have more children. This is because fertility may be delayed for 1 to 2 years after discontinuing its use. Say for instance, you use this type of family planning, all right, that after when you stop using it, it takes like 1 to 2 years before before you are able to get pregnant. So you must really think about it very well before you go for this type. Okay, they said it also has the same side effects like weight gain, you're vomiting, tender breasts, irregular menses, and all of that. So women in the house that have taken or that have used family planning, which one do you think is the most effective? Really, what's the most effective family planning, for a woman? because I've heard several testimonies, or I don't know if it's testimonies or stories, stories rather, that this family planning thing, some of them are not 100%, and then some of them make, like, as we are reading this book now, you can hear the side effects that they're saying that women are going to have. And you'd agree with me that a woman that just gave birth, she wants to lose weight. But imagine me trying to prevent myself from getting pregnant. I'm adding weight, I'm falling sick, I'm vomiting, right? And then my menses are not regular. This also messes up with the mental health of this woman, right? So which do you think is the most preferred, right? Please tell me in the comment section. Tell me, just speak. Another woman can see this and learn. It can help another woman, right? Okay, let's continue. Okay, where were we? Okay, they said that it is highly effective, like the oral pills. That this we're still talking about injectables. Okay, excuse me. Number 3 is a contraceptive implant. This particular one, people complain about it a lot. As I said, it's a small flexible rod made of soft rubber, like material of the size of a matchstick, and filled with synthetic hormones, widely used in oral contraceptive pill. Right? They said it produces contraceptive protection within hours of insertion and could prevent conception for 3 years. So if you use contraceptive implants, it can prevent pregnancy for 3 years. It prevents ovulation, so you are not able to ovulate, you can have sex and enjoy yourself, right? No egg is released, and also thicken the cervical mucus, making it difficult for sperm to reach the egg. They said this is about 99% effective. Okay, so main side effects are irregularities in a woman's menstrual cycle, headaches, acne, skin rashes, and enlarged ovaries. Jesus, this is this is a lot, man. Anyway, insertion and removal are minor surgical procedures done under local anesthetics. No stitches are needed. Implant, okay, no stitches are needed, right? So I don't know. As a woman, I don't know, do I really want to do this, or do you think I'm going to do this? Because imagine the side effects: irregularities in the woman's menstrual cycle, headaches, acne, skin rash. Let's continue. Okay, so number E is a barrier method. Number 1 is condom. This one is very popular. A lot of people use condom. I mean, they rather use condom than using contraceptive implants that is going to affect my mental health, or affect my menstrual cycle, or give me rashes, or make me add weight. Imagine trying to lose weight and then you are trying not to have another baby, right? Because you just had the baby and you want to plan your family, you want to enjoy the process, and you're still adding weight, you're still having skin problems. I mean, that's a lot. That's a lot for woman, for every woman that's done this or that's going to do this. It's a lot. So men that are watching this video, kudos to your woman. Tell your woman thank you. If your woman is using any family planning anything, go and tell her thank you. Send her a message and say, well done, thank you for doing this, because it's a lot. Okay, so that we are on condom. A condom is a bag made of latex material to be worn by the male partner before intercourse. It serves as collection bag for the ejaculation semen, first preventing sperm from getting into the vagina, the uterus, and the tube to effect fertilization. It is highly effective when used correctly, and breaking is prevented. It should be rolled on an erect penis before the penis becomes soft to prevent spillage. It should be used with water-based lubricant and not oil, which weakens the latex and leads to high rate of breakage. It should be used only once and thrown away after each ejaculation. Reuse results into breakage, of course. Why would you reuse condom? Because of what? It is highly effective in preventing the transmission of sexually transmitted diseases like gonorrhea, chlamydia, HIV/AIDS, However, there is the complaint of reduction in sensitivity during intercourse. A lot of people complain that when they use condom, they don't feel it. They don't feel it very well. You don't. It's not getting there. But then it works. If we're gonna properly plan your family, condom works. So is it that you pick a struggle? You have to pick a struggle. This is so funny. You need to pick a struggle. Is it that you use contraceptive implants? All these ones we've been talking about since contraceptive. Is that you use drug every day, or you use contraceptive implant and then you go with the you have the side effect, or you use condom. Use condom. You're not gonna enjoy it very well, but I mean, you're not adding weight, you're not having skin rash, your menstruation is coming regularly. You gotta pick a struggle. It is well. Okay, we're still under barrier method. We talked about condoms. Number 2 is femidom. This is the female type of condom to be worn by women before sexual intercourse. It has the problem of reduction of sensitivity. Again, you will not really enjoy the sex. It's not gonna get there, right? It is expected to also protect the woman against sexually transmitted diseases, right? And another one is diaphragm. This is a plastic material designed to cap the cervix, thus preventing ejaculated sperm from entering the womb via the vagina, right? It should be worn by the woman before intercourse and is usually left for about 6 hours after intercourse. It is made in various sizes, which means that the woman would be fitted with her size. It is removed, washed, and kept for reuse during the next sexual relationship. I think you can reuse this diaphragm. You can reuse this one, right? Unlike condoms that you cannot reuse, or femidom, you can reuse those. This is used with vaginal spermicide. It is highly effective in preventing pregnancy when used properly. All right, the next is vaginal spermicide. It is a medical preparation that is made to kill the sperm in the vagina. It can be in form of tablets, jellies, and impregnated sponges. When used alone, it is about 50 to 60% effective in preventing pregnancy. Okay, it is recommended to be used with the condom or diaphragm as an effective method of family planning. Okay, we've talked about different methods of family planning, right? Exactly. Okay, so next is intrauterine device. That's IUD. The IUD is a plastic material designed with various shapes and sometimes medicated with copper elements. You're welcome. Thank you for joining. Please like the live. Okay, it is usually introduced into the uterus of a woman by a trained provider after birth or towards the end of the monthly period. This is a short tail in the vagina which the woman should often check in order to confirm that the IUD is still in position. You need to check it so that it's still there before the thing has disappeared and you can't have sex, you now gonna get pregnant. Check it too. They said each insertion can last for two to 3 years if there is no complications. Nobody prays for complications. Okay, on its own, it does not cause infection, right? But might have to be removed so that infections could be adequately treated. It has the complications of abdominal cramps. Again, side effects. It has the complication of abdominal cramps, heavy menstruation, and spontaneous explosion after insertion. Jesus! It has a very low risk of uterine perforation when providers are well trained. There is a strong evidence that they are not abortifacient. Even new research findings report that copper IUDs generally incapacitate sperms before fertilization. Okay, it is about 70% effective because there are cases of women getting pregnant while using IUDs. Jesus, imagine some women still get pregnant while using IUD. Jesus Christ. Okay. Next one is irreversible method, the irreversible type of family planning. Number one is the male sterilization. That's vasectomy. Vasectomy is a surgical method of contraception carried out on the scrotum, whereby the cord through which sperm travels from the testicles to the penis is cut off. So this is for the men, like they do vasectomy. Some men do it for their wife. They be like, okay, I don't want my wife to do any or to do any of these things, to distort her body. She has given birth to all our children. She has done this for us. So let me be the one to go and do this. And then some men do it, but it is irreversible. The moment you go for or do vasectomy, you're unable to impregnate any woman again for the rest of your life. And that's why men scare away from it. They run away from it, right? Jesus Christ of Nazareth. So the one for the women, they are still okay. You can choose to stop taking the pills, right? You can remove the contraceptive implants, right, and still get pregnant. It might take time, but you still get pregnant. But for men, when you go for this surgery, they cut off the cord that sends sperm to the testicles, and the moment you do that, that's for life. You cannot impregnate any woman again in your life, right? So people are scared of that, like okay, so this method does not affect the sexual desire, the ability to have an erection or the ejaculation of semen. It is a permanent form of contraception. It is not reversible. We just talked about that. In countries like India and Pakistan, where severe birth control is practiced, the number of vasectomies have exceeded that of female sterilization or IUD insertion. So they're telling us that in countries like India and Pakistan, men do it a lot. In this place, severe birth control is practiced. So the number of vasectomies have exceeded that of female sterilization or IUD insertion. That's beautiful. I mean, their men are, their G's. They'll be like, no, don't worry. Let me go for the vasectomy. Let my wife be. But in this country, this is our country. Jesus, take the wheel. Okay. So number 2 is female sterilization. That's tubal ligation. This is a voluntary surgical method of female contraception. It is a surgical procedure that closes the fallopian tubes so that they become incapable of transporting the ovum, and also preventing sperm from having access to the ovum. There are different methods of conclusion and different methods of surgical approach, e.g. laparoscopy and laparotomy and colposcopy. These are different forms of irreversible method, right? Okay, so they said it is highly effective, about 99% when done properly. Of course, how will it not be effective? It has to be effective. Imagine somebody going for vasectomy, or what's the second one? Tubal ligation, female sterilization. Imagine somebody going for this type of surgery, and you are saying that I use it that is not effective. It has to be effective because it's irreversible. So it must work. Okay, so second to the last bedding, we are almost done. What family planning is not, right? We've talked about what family planning entails, right? So now we're going to talk about what family planning is not, because some people have the notion that what I'm about to talk about is what family planning is about, but no, it is not about it. Okay, number 1, family planning is not abortion. Number 2, it is not menstrual regulation. It is not abstinence. It does not create infertility, right? No, it does not prevent you from having the number of children you desire, right? It does not encourage promiscuity. It does not interfere with sexual pleasure. And lastly, it is not against the will and program of God for mankind. Of course, all of this is what family planning is not. All what we've spoken about is what family planning is about. That you prevent, you plan your family, you plan the pregnancy, right? And then properly enjoy the process, enjoy your pregnancy, and you're not lamenting, right, about the baby or the child, right? So all of this that I just mentioned is what family planning is not. It's not abortion. It's not you killing your baby or your babies. No, it is you preventing and not allowing it to happen before it happens, and then you start lamenting or you start complaining that, oh, this baby was born by mistake, right? No. So in conclusion, we're done. God's blessing of faithfulness, of God's blessing of fruitfulness and multiplication does not in any way encourage reckless childbearing. That's beautiful. Let me read that again. God's blessing of fruitfulness and multiplication does not in any way encourage reckless childbearing. This is amazing. You know, some people just be like, oh, God said we should be fruitful and multiply. Thereby, therefore rather, they start giving birth anyhow or however they want to give birth. No, because God says we should be fruitful and we should multiply does not mean you should be giving birth anyhow or anyhow. And then you give birth and you're unable to cater for them or cater to them. Which have you? Right? So no, it's not it. Okay, so God has not given us the authority. God has also given us the authority to control the situation. Adequate child spacing and limitation of number of children born is fundamental to a healthy, successful, and joyful family. Joyful family, society, and the church. Remember that prevention of pregnancy is less traumatic and more acceptable than either an abortion or a full-term pregnancy and delivery. Yes. That brings us to the end of today's book session series. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something. And then I hope that you also consult with your doctors on which type or which method you should use or which one can work for your body, right? Before you jump at it or jump at anyone, right? Speak to a professional, pray to God about it, ask God to help you, right? And then we will be fine. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe if you are yet to subscribe to our channel. If you are yet to comment or share, just do it. Just support your girl. I'm very grateful. Okay, so I will see you next week by the special grace of God. We'll be talking about in-laws in marriage, as well as I don't know how long this is. We can do it. This is a long one. And then house helps or domestic servants. I'm really looking forward to this one. I'm really looking forward to even reading this chapter, right? House help and domestic servants. Okay, so thank you so much. I'll see you next week, and God bless you. Thank you for joining. Thank you for watching. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for commenting. Thank you for clicking on the super thanks. Thank you for joining my membership. Thank you. Thank you for not skipping the ads. Thank you for supporting me. I love you. Bye.